Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Belief Cast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the BeliefCast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap & Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. The visionaries behind Thread wallets. These wallets redefine style and functionality. Dave Philippi from Micro Plus, pushing the boundaries of nanotechnology and scientific research to bring us cutting-edge supplements for optimal health. The Ralphs and the Debenhams, creators of Mori Nutrition and Calm. Because if you're struggling with sleep, feeling stressed, or can't focus, Calm is your answer. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode. And finally, Gab Wireless, letting kids be kids and giving parents the peace of mind they deserve. Right now, Gab is offering $25 off any device to new customers with no contract required. That's $25 off any Gab smartphone or smartwatch. Just go to gab.com/belief. That's where you'll get the best deal. That's Gab, GABB.com/belief. Thank you to all these amazing sponsors for supporting the BeliefCast podcast and empowering us to continue spreading positivity and inspiration to the world. Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. As always, thank you for tuning in week after week and for believing in me and supporting these amazing people that I bring on. And it's just been so fantastic to watch people get the help that they need. I hear all the time that people will say to me, that's exactly the message I needed to hear to, change the course of my life or my child's life. And boy, what better thing could we do in the world like something like that? So thank you for tuning in. Also, again, thanks to the sponsors that you just heard about. They are the best, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them. And so today, as always, I bring on an amazing person. We have McCall Bryant. McCall, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super honored.
Oh, man, I tell you what, you guys are going to love her. I'm going to just share a little bit about her. I mean, she probably has a bio a mile long, but we're gonna shorten it up just a little bit, but we're going to hear from her. But a little bit about McCall. She's a transformational coach and co-founder of MeCoaches, which we're going to talk a lot about here in a minute. McCall is dedicated to helping individuals release old patterns, connect with their inner wisdom, and step fully into their true potential. She has a background in psychology and applied behavioral analysis. She works with Arno at MeCoaches, who eventually they're going to be getting married.
Yes.
So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
I had him on just a little while ago on the podcast. He did fantastic, and the response and the pouring in of compliments about him was amazing.
He is amazing.
He
Absolutely.
is amazing. You also are a luxury real estate agent. You're the owner of MK Photography. You're also a hot yoga instructor. You're getting ready to write your memoir. I mean, we're barely even touching the surface. You're doing all these amazing things, but at the bottom, at the end of all this, you just have a passion for helping other people.
Yes.
And you're a go-getter, and you thrive on life. You love life. You're just, you really carry yourself so well, and that's what I was so impressed with. So why don't we start, though, McCall? Just tell us about where you grew up and maybe a little bit about your childhood.
Sure. Well, I actually had the best of both worlds. I was able to grow up in Orange County in California and then also Park City in Utah.
Oh, nice.
So I definitely was able to get up in the morning and go surf, go horseback riding in California, and then had the snow and horseback riding in Utah and skiing, and so it was quite fantastic.
Well, that is the best of both worlds.
It really is. And it gave me an opportunity to really figure out if I was more of a beach person or mountains, and I definitely love the Four Seasons. So I moved full-time back to Utah as fast as I could, which is wonderful and beautiful. I have an older sister and a younger brother.
Okay.
And then my parents, my mom lives in California, my father is in Utah.
Okay.
And it's been quite interesting. I think that's a whole nother podcast, but there's been challenges and journeys with the childhood, but it really definitely made me the person that I am.
Yeah.
I grew up pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't go back and do it again, but I definitely wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah. So, I have this belief that life happens for us.
Absolutely.
Right. And I knew you would agree with that. So you don't have to go into all the details of the challenges, but tell us a little bit more about some of the challenges that shaped you to what you do today even.
Sure. I would say that I was probably about 10 or 11. I was raised Catholic. My parents and family stopped going to church, and I decided to go to non-denominational Christian church by myself.
Okay.
I was part of the worship team there, and I remember being baptized Christian, and nobody was there. And I think I was probably 12.
Okay. By yourself?
By myself.
Wow.
And Jesus, and he's just my best friend and absolutely amazing, and it's really gotten me through some of life's biggest challenges, and has always been the constant when nobody else was, or no situation was stable enough to be able to rely on. And so my relationship with him has been that constant. And
did you know how important that was to you at age 12? I mean, obviously that was obviously new and fresh. You were by yourself. Yeah. But was there a part of you even at 12 going, hey, man, this is something that I'm going to cherish and it's going to really be something I'm going to hold on to?
Yes, it was beautiful. He showed up in my life in so many different ways that were very profound, and to the extent you just couldn't ignore it. As lonely as I was, and being a middle child, and I knew that I was quite different than most. I was a straight A student. I was an athlete, but I was deeper than most, and there was a lot of surface relationships in school, and I was cared too much in different people's eyes. That's pretty much what they would say, and I would really devote myself to other people and connecting and assisting them in things that they were struggling with. And there was never that reciprocal relationship. With Jesus. It was beautiful. And how he'd show up and provide in different ways, whether it was emotional or even physically feeling held by him. And in the midst of my parents' divorce, and as lonely as that was, he was absolutely there.
He was there.
So it was beautiful.
Yeah. Would you say that's a gift that you have? Like, because I think I hear this a lot where people want to have a relationship with Jesus or their God or higher power, and they really struggle. I mean, I hear this from my clients all the time, and you probably do with probably a lot of your clients, where they just struggle with it. Like, it's like, I don't know how to connect. I don't know am I doing something wrong? What are your thoughts on that? Because I think your insights on this would be really profound for us.
It's amazing how he shows up when you're quiet. And it's not in the trying to force something, because he shows up differently for everyone. In my life, he's shown up beautifully in audibly, in midst of trauma or chaos, or where I'm screaming out, why is this happening? And audibly I could hear his answers. Wow. There are times where I couldn't sleep at night and I felt him holding me, or just his presence. But I really do feel that in connecting with him, it's really not the knowing, it's not the how do I do this and really struggling through it. It's slowing down and asking, please show up, I need you. And having that conversation. And a lot of prayer is speaking, but then the other side of that is being quiet so that he can answer. And sometimes it takes longer than we expect it to.
Right.
And just holding on to that faith and in doing and being consistent in praying and spending time with him.
That aligns with your motto, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind sharing that with our listeners?
Sure. So for me, I'm typically a very quiet and calm person, and my motto is, in that quiet and calmness, there is a lot of power. And that's absolutely about my relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be spoken to. I don't have to go out and speak so much about the things that have changed my life in profound ways, but in seeking quiet and calmness and bringing that presence can be very healing, especially in our coaching and with our clients, to have someone come in that's chaotic and their energy is all over the place. Being calm and willing to listen and changing vibrations is very much that I feel that when Jesus walked into a room, it's just like the awe of him and just thinking of the white light around him. It just is, it's breathtaking.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
You know that probably takes a conscious effort, because you're a busy woman. You're doing so much.
Yeah.
And it's all good stuff. And how do you, I would imagine you have to make a conscious effort to make sure you sit and get yourself in a quiet place. And is that like a daily thing that you're trying to do? What does that look like for you?
It's a really good point. Yes. Yeah, resounding yes. And it's like a multiple times a day, because energy can be absorbed, and it is absolutely contagious. So if I walk into a room and I've got a smile on my face and it's kind of a down room, people are like, "Wow, what is she smiling about?"
Yeah.
Or if I walk in with a droopy face, it's like, "Oh, bummer. I don't know if I want to engage with her."
Yeah.
But we can absolutely experience one another and the energies of one another, that when I try to center myself, when I do center myself, it's multiple times a day. It is being in a quiet place, away from sound, away from distractions, away from cell phones, and quieting my mind and recentering in several different ways. That's mind, body, and spirit, and my own emotions.
Yeah.
And it takes a very conscious effort to make that happen. And I recognize, I'm human. I'm not perfect by any means. But that being said, when I don't do that, I can see how I react to situations, because I might not have the bandwidth, or I'm a little on edge for the last interaction I've had, or they were great interactions and the person I'm with doesn't have the energy. So it's just recentering to be more level with the next one. So for sure. Yeah.
I love that. A couple things I want to see what you think about. There's a scripture in Psalms 46:10 that says, "Be still and know that I am God," right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And I think in the King James Version, if you cross-reference silence in the footnote, it says, be still. Yeah. Sorry. When you cross-reference still in the footnote, it says silence. So in the silence, you'll know that I'm God. And it really speaks to what you're saying, that you experience it in those moments. And beautiful. Then the other thing, there's a quote by Ganilian Norris that says, "Within each of us, there is a silence as vast as the universe. And when we experience that silence, we remember who we are."
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is amazing.
Yeah. And is it fair to say, like, when you're having these moments where you're really still and quiet and you're feeling the energy and the love and all that, just like as if God's walking into the room right to you, it's almost like you remember who you are again.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. You just brings yourself back to center.
Yeah.
And introspective of who you really are and how you want to show up in the next interaction and experience, for sure.
Yeah, because I heard this definition of depression, and I thought, this is the best one I've ever heard, is pretending to be someone I'm not. And I know for me, when I do the actual, like, try to get calm and quiet and present, is then I stop pretending. And like you said, I can get recentered again and reset, if you will. And I don't know, I love that stuff.
Absolutely. Even just before walking in here, I'm just having quiet time, turning the car off, making sure the radio's not on, and saying a quick prayer and have calmness and quiet, and allowing God to speak if he has anything to say, and asking him to speak through me. and coming in with that kind of energy, and excited for the experience.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I did the same thing. Like,
I love it.
About
That's awesome.
15 minutes before you get in here, I thought, you know what? I'm going to turn everything off. I'm just going to sit and be and just let it soak in and connect. So
it's all about the being and not the doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in such a busy world, and and productivity is different than being busy. It's what can I fill my time with so that I don't have to think, and I don't have to sit with my own thoughts or those kind of things. Being productive is when you're getting things done that are necessary. But when you sit back and you really look at it, are you being? Yeah. Are you being a human being, not a human doing? And
I love that.
And being present in what you're experiencing and what the person that you're with or the group or whatever it is, it's in the being.
Yeah. Did you learn this as a yoga instructor, or did you learn it before and then wanted to become a yoga instructor?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that I learned it before. I think that with my relationship with God, but then also with schooling and psychology and just really being interested in how people function and why do people do things the way they do, and wanting to connect with different personalities. It was from a very young age. I dove headfirst into that. The yoga training, the teacher training, was how to connect inward, how to slow down, and to recognize that we hold on to emotions and energies in our body physically, and how to release those. A lot of the time we may not recognize this emotion is heavy. We could feel it's heavy, but how do I release it? And having movement in the body, that's why, part of health is moving every day, is that even if you may not recognize, you're releasing emotions, and it might come out in sweating, it might come out in crying, it might come out in throwing up. I mean, in so many different ways. And the yoga in movement was what really introduced me to being more still, because I was able to move through emotions to then sit still. Because I know for a lot of people, it's hard to be like, I have so many things on my to-do list. How do I sit still? Well, once you've exhausted your body, you're like, okay, now I kind of need a moment just to relax and reset, you know, and then get back at it. And that's the best time for me to have some quiet time, for sure.
I love this conversation. So obviously it's a daily practice for you. It sounds like something that centers you, something that helps you connect with Jesus, as you say, which is awesome. Is that part of your coaching too, when you're teaching someone or coaching someone that's one of your clientele? Is that a part of your?
For sure. We have several different modalities, and we have meditation, yoga, we have one-on-one talking and journaling, and just different modalities that, I mean, there's a plethora of them that really assist in connecting your head to your heart, honestly, because it's really, like I said earlier, not about knowing. It's not about figuring it out. It's actually that you already know in your heart and remembering that you know. So when you're able to slow down enough, you are looking into your own soul, and it's learning that you actually already know the answer. So you're really just remembering.
I love that.
Yeah.
With that said, have you ever read the book The Inner Work by Matt Nash?
No, but that sounds great.
Oh boy.
I gotta read that.
I think I might have an extra copy. I'll give it to you.
Oh my gosh.
You have to read it.
Yes.
There are yogis that live in Hawaii, and they've wrote this book, and I'm a reader. It's definitely in my top 5 of all time books I've ever read. I mean, I would write wow on almost every page. Wow.
That's great.
And the point is, they would talk about like every answer you need or think you must have, or everything you think you need to have in your life, you've already got it, or you've already got the answer. And I loved how you said, you're just remembering again. I mean, I think if we can grasp what that really means,
right?
That's fascinating.
It is. And if you know that you know, you just need to remember that you know. And that's where we come in.
That's where you come in. Well, I want to definitely talk a lot about that. But so you go through life. You had some challenges, obviously, as a child, and but you are this go-getter. Were you that way as a child? Were you that way as you got into your teen years and your college years? Were you this go-getter?
When I look back at it, it was just normal life to me, to be honest.
So
and I just have been a driver and want to live life to the fullest, and kind of the go big or go home kind of mentality, but in the sense of doing it as it's not quantity, it's quality.
Yeah.
Doing things that are meaningful and putting 150% into it, not 90%, not 60%, but really my whole heart.
Yeah.
And so I'm selective on the things that I get involved in, because I really know that I will care and invest in it. And so I think that that's really, really where it came from.
Yeah. Well, I know, were you going to be like was it a Marine sniper? Is that
so I
part
wanted to be. I did. I actually went as far as I was trained by
amazing.
a drill instructor that was a friend of mine. The reality was I was living in San Diego and saw there's a huge military population down there, and saw a lot of my girlfriends that their husbands were leaving and having to go to overseas, and they had kids, and I remembered there's a verse that is, there's no greater sacrifice than to lay down your life for another.
Yeah.
And here I was, a single individual, and I'm like, well, I mean, how does that relate to me? And being in that environment and with so much military around me, I was like, well, why not? And because I have that driver in me, I'm like, well, I'm not going to just go into it. I'm going to go into it and be hardcore into it. And I learned to shoot guns from a young age, and so I wasn't really afraid of that concept, but I was like, no, I want to be a sniper. Vision, that kind of focus and determination. And it was interesting because at the same time I wanted to go to school to become a veterinarian. My grandfather was a veterinarian, and I've always loved animals.
Yeah, right on.
And growing up, I used to rescue animals. I'd just bring dogs home.
Really?
And my parents were like, great, another one. That kind of so that was interesting, that dynamic. But I actually ended up getting pregnant and at a young age. And it was actually quite beautiful because I took 6 pregnancy tests that came back inconclusive.
Really?
And I was just like, wow, my body just feels off, and I don't feel right. I just knew something was different. And I went to the doctor, and they gave me a test, and they said, well, we have found the pregnancy hormone in your body, but we can't tell you that you're pregnant because it's not strong enough. I'm like, okay, that makes 0 sense.
Yeah, right.
So what came out of it was so beautiful, because I was just like, okay, God, like, if you want me to go in and sacrifice, my time or my life for another in the Marine Corps, then I'm not going to be pregnant, and I will do that wholeheartedly. But if I'm pregnant, I will be a mother wholeheartedly. And Lord, like, I just give this to you.
Yeah.
And then the situation wasn't the best in either case of whatever the answer may have been. But I was like, I know just God's going to get me through it. And I ended up being pregnant with my daughter. And she's such a blessing. She was an angel that I always say saved me.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
chose me to be her mom, kind of thing, and changed my life around. I was 21 when I had her.
Yeah.
And went to school. I had multiple jobs with a little one, and did it by myself. And it was really quite incredible. I look back at it and going, how did I do that? Because God gives you the tools, and he equips you with what you're facing. You don't necessarily have it all the time, but when you're facing a challenge, he definitely gives you what you need.
Yeah.
And she's just such an incredible young lady now. She's 18, which is awesome.
Congrats. That's amazing.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
What do you think of this phrase or term? I don't know how to say it, but faith without works is dead.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Because I love how you're giving credit to God, which makes, I agree with you 100%. But you also have to do your part.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I keep hearing in your story.
Mm-hmm.
Like in these moments when things maybe you're not sure what to do, but yet you still do something, meaning you put in some action. You're asking for help. You are like, okay, I'm going to go in this direction, and if it's not right, then I'll go this direction. But you seem like you're constantly putting in the work. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Because if we just sit and twiddle our thumbs, like, it's not going to come to us necessarily.
Yeah.
And I think that in that faith, you have to have action.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what is it? And faith without seeing is moving forward, and being okay if the direction changes, and giving it up to God and being open to those kind of experiences that may not be exactly what you thought it would be.
Yeah.
And going, okay, well, I know he's going to get me through it. So game time.
Game time. Wow.
Yeah.
You could have been a sniper. That's, I mean, that's impressive. Seriously. Like, I think that would have been very amazing for anyone. But you could have been the first one, right? Was that the plan?
That was the plan.
Initially?
Yeah, initially, for sure. But it definitely changed the trajectory of my life and softened me a lot. Because I did grow up so quickly when I was younger. Having my daughter softened me and brought me more into my feminine, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then cool. Having my son 8 years later and having a little buddy and a little man of the house kind of thing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to do coaching? And let's talk about MeCoaches and what that's all about, and just give us the whole background on that, because I think what you're doing there is incredible, and you're already helping a lot of people, and you're going to continue helping thousands of people. But let's let our listeners know what that's all about and how that started.
So Arno, my fiance, who you spoke about earlier, we started this a while ago. And what's been so beautiful is that we have coaching in our background separately. And I've been doing it for decades individually. And in regards to my story, I started coaching, in my 20s, girls varsity soccer. And it was wonderful because I did soccer and swimming and cross country when I was younger. And my role as a coach for them wasn't very much focused on the soccer because we had 3 coaches, but it was really on their growth and their development as young ladies. So I was able to be that support for them. I wasn't a teacher, I wasn't a parent, but I was really there for them and life. And high school's not always easy for girls.
Right.
So I was able to do that, which I loved, and I'm still in contact with some of them even now. And I also was part of assisting women getting out of strip clubs and showing them a different way of life and supporting them through what they have exposed themselves to and what they had experienced. And I mean, it's a culture shock to live a different way and dress differently and kind of do female makeovers and take them shopping and so they didn't feel like they had to sell themselves physically. Yeah. So I did coaching through that. I've also done professional coaching in different industries, and much like in real estate that I'm involved in, I've been an instructor. I've been a coach with new agents coming into the industry, and I've just had it, quite frankly, throughout different strands of my life, and it's been kind of the common denominator, and it is so fulfilling to me to see people grow and assist them. And very much in our coaching, we're not going to help you because you're going to do it on your own in the sense of the hard work, but I won't walk in front of you. I won't walk behind you, but I will walk alongside of you and support you all the way.
I love that.
And that's truly how we coach.
So go back to helping these women who were involved in strip clubs and this and that. How did you get involved with that, and what was like maybe the biggest challenges that you saw trying to get these women to, make that transition from doing this to actually living a completely different life? Sure. I can imagine that was really challenging.
Super challenging. It was part of a church, and which was great because we had specific people that would go into those places and assist them in leaving. The biggest challenge for these women truly was the mindset and being able to trust, because they felt that if they sold their bodies, they were able to get what they wanted financially, but they didn't have respect for themselves. And they didn't realize that they were actually the prize individually, but not necessarily physically. Yeah. And so the mindset of being able to trust someone that they're doing, like if I was doing something nice for them, I didn't want anything from them.
Yeah.
And having a genuine connection that was innocent, and bringing them back to their own innocence, helping them, assisting them in remembering what that was like. And so the mindset was the most challenging.
It was big.
Yeah.
You know, I love that too, because I know you work on, I mean, you have a powerful mindset yourself. And what were some of the beliefs that maybe you had throughout your life that you wrestled with, that you had to fight through to overcome, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure.
I know that's a personal question there, but
It's a good question for sure. My biggest challenge of my own, the story that I would tell myself was I'm not enough, not good enough, not successful enough in every facet. It really was incapacitating to an extent, that I would show up and I wouldn't say the right things, or I wasn't pretty enough, or I didn't bring enough value.
okay.
So to the core of who I am. And that journey was incredibly challenging to face alone.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I didn't have to face it alone, because we're not made to isolate. And going through that struggle alone, it was so easy to isolate and thinking that I needed to do it by myself.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like that. And reaching out for connection, because we're made for relationships. Once I learned that and had a support system and individuals that were holding my hand through it, and even in my weakest moments didn't judge me on it, but they were just there, is when it changed for me, and recognizing, no, I bring value and I don't need to be or accept to be treated this way, and holding boundaries on how I expect to be treated. And relationships changed. Yeah. And how I showed up changed. And some people I got closer to, and some people left, and we didn't have friendships or relationships anymore. And it was, quite frankly, of going, okay, well, I'm just not going to be treated like this anymore. Yeah. And it was pretty intense and a struggle, but it has been life-changing in such a significant way. And it has opened space and doors for different opportunities and different people to come into my life that deserve to be in it, and owning that, truly owning that.
Yeah, I love that. It's amazing when we can change a belief that's held us back to something that empowers us, how just the world in front of you just changes, right? Yes. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that you shared that. Thank you for sharing that. So MeCoaches, you start this up. What does that look like if someone wanted to know more about this? Like, what is your main focus? Can anyone sign up for it? And who's, I guess, your niche market there?
For sure. So it's interesting because what sets us apart is that we're a couple, and we coach couples, but we also coach individuals. Now, we don't cross genders. So we recognize that when you start to trust someone in a coaching atmosphere and share details about your life, it becomes vulnerable. And to a level that some people may not talk to their best friend. Yeah. So we mitigate any kind of unnecessary attachment that could be for an opposite sex, so that I would be coaching with women and Arno coaches men. But what sets us apart, like I was saying, is that you actually have access to the opposite gender. So if I'm coaching a female and she's like, well, my husband did this, but I just didn't understand why, we can pull in Arno for a male's perspective and really be able to understand how maybe her behavior had changed things, or he was just having a bad day at work, kind of thing. Right. And so, and then they also come in together, and we're able to have coaching sessions with both of them. And it's quite interesting to see the profound healing when we've had some couples come in where they're like, we're filing for divorce next week. And we're both on the same page about it. And we're like, well, just give it one more chance. Just give us an hour. And by the end of it, first they come in and they're sitting on the opposite side of the couch. And by the end of the session, they're like cuddling under a blankie and going, wow, like we didn't realize how we were just ships passing through the night. Yeah. And really on different pages of completely different books, kind of thing. And it's just bringing clarity and awareness to that. Yeah. And so for us, we're on MeCoaches.com. And there's intake forms. So we definitely start to understand, where someone's coming from. And the niche really is the people that are wanting to and have the courage to level up. They're like, gosh, I just don't, there's got to be something more. I can't continue this way, or these challenges are just taking over. Just going, like, I just would love some advice or assistance or support, even in and of itself.
Right. Yeah.
And a shoulder to lean on.
Yeah.
And so that's really even just the niche. So it's anybody, to be honest. It's someone that is willing and wanting to dive in and know that it's hard work, but it's well worth it.
It's well worth it. Yeah.
And you see the light, and it's just beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What have you noticed in your experience that what is some of the main causes that couples struggle? Like that, do you notice a pattern? Is there something that you could share with our listeners that that you're noticing, like, hey, couples are doing or not doing this, and that's what's causing a bunch of friction in the relationship?
For sure. I think that it comes down to communication.
Okay.
Communication is pretty general, but in what we've seen, it's unexplained expectations and not being open enough to have the conversation of something not being met, or being clear about, hey, this is what really fulfills me, and I'd love to have more of it in our relationship. Or being, hey, there was a boundary that was crossed, and going, hey, would you be open to having a conversation? Just kind of want to bring something to your attention. I may have not explained it or told you about it even, but would you be open? I'd love to be able to kind of share and kind of having a preface of like that soft landing, and being open to have those hard conversations, because they're uncomfortable for everybody. Yeah. But the communication, if you can't have those kind of conversations, and it's either you're having that only with your best friend or therapist, that you have to be able to have that with your significant other. Yeah. And there are ways to do it for where it's effective communication. Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I heard this from Trevor Mawad. He wrote a book called It Takes What It Takes. And he said that the average couple in America speaks 27 minutes a week to each other. Right? And then he went on to say something, and I might have the percentages off, but he said something like 75 to 80% of that 27 minutes is surfacey stuff. Hey, I need you to go to the bank. Hey, can you grab this at the store for me? Hey, how was the day? Oh, yeah, good. All right. And then we move on. And so, I mean, that's alarming.
Yes, it is.
Right? 27 minutes, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I agree with you. And I think I've noticed that with the experiences I've had with my couple clients as well, where the communications, it's either not enough communication or it's the wrong type of communication, right?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And it is quality. So whether you have a check-in or a weekly date night, and there's no electronics, kids aren't running around, the TV's not on, going out to dinner, where it's just a one-on-one, even going for a walk around the block. Yeah. And talking more deeply in what you really mean. When you ask, how are you? I don't want to hear just good. Tell me how you really are. And what worked last week in our relationship or last month, and what could I do better? How could I show up differently for you? Is there anything that I could do? And being open to having feedback and taking that graciously.
Ooh, I love that question. How can I show up differently for you? That'd be a good question to ask, right? Be ready for the answer. Here
Absolutely.
We go.
Yep.
Right?
It definitely opened you up, vulnerable for sure. Because you have to be willing to go, okay. Yeah, no, I get that. And I could do better in that area. So I'm going to focus on that. Yeah. Please let me know if there's something else that comes up. Yeah. So being open to feedback and honest feedback. So it's not surface level.
Right.
And that connection just gets deeper when you're able to do that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. We said at the very beginning, you're doing a lot of things. You're getting ready to write a book, a memoir. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Tell us a little bit about that and what that's looking like.
Oh, it's fascinating to look back. I've been told for the last several years that I have 5 lives in one kind of thing, and in all of that, there's been so many struggles and challenges, but they have been opportunity for growth. And I think that what we do as a society is when we have a challenge, we think of it as a setback, rather than an opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
And it's that switch of a mindset, it's such an easier pill to swallow, going, no, I'm going to take this and go, how can I grow from it? What can I learn from this? And how is this going to better my life tomorrow, next month, next year?
Yeah.
And then the other side of that coin as well that I've always held on to is that once I've learned this and once I've gotten through this, how can I bless someone else with the lessons I've learned?
Ooh, I love that.
And going, I've been there. Let me show you another path that's a lot brighter.
Yeah.
And just sharing that and using our experiences not just for ourselves, because they're meant for others as well. So, yeah.
Oh, beautifully said. I want to share a quote with you because the quote kind of reminded me of you.
Aw.
Because, like I said, I've been doing a lot of research ever since I met your fiance. But I want to read this to you, and I think but I'd just love to hear you comment on it.
Sure.
Here's the quote. It says, "Everybody says discipline is so important, but they never want to tell you why. I'll tell you why discipline is so important. It is the strongest form of self-love. It's ignoring something you want right now for something better later on. Discipline reveals the commitment you have to your dreams, especially on the days where you don't want to. The future you is depending on the current you to keep the promises you made to yourself yesterday."
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Absolutely.
Because you seem like a very disciplined person.
I know that I show up better when I am.
Yeah.
And it was something I actually struggled with because I was giving so much as a single mom to 2 kids and just wanting to make sure that they were taken care of and all those things. But then recognizing when I had self-care time,
Yeah.
I showed up so much better. And remembering the things that really resonate with me and promising that to others and wanting to show up in the best version of myself for others is very much that discipline, and that's where it comes from. Because what are we if we aren't consistent in who we are? And if we don't have the integrity of saying, I am who I am, and you can rely on that, and I'm loyal to that. So that means I'm loyal to you.
Sure.
And you can depend on that.
Yeah.
And so having that discipline sometimes even isn't about me. It's really about how are you going to be affected? Yeah. And then, because I could be tired. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Now, some days we can absolutely fall into that, and and it's okay, and we can have a break. But when you talk about consistency, there's discipline in that.
You're right.
And knowing that's how I'm going to show up for you, for me, and it blesses just the situation so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. What do you love most about you?
Well, what do I love most about me? That's a great question. I would say I bring a level of energy that is coupled with significant loyalty. And it's when it's what you do when people aren't looking, and knowing that I've got your back, and you being excited to have an interaction with me. That probably is what I love so much. And I've heard that where it's like, gosh, your energy is so fun to be around, or gosh, I know I can count on you. And there are people that like I don't hear from for months or years, and when something hits the fan, I'm the person that they call, and I'm honored for that because they just know that I'll be there. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, that's beautifully. Yeah, great answer, by the way.
Thank
great
you.
question, great answer.
Yep.
That was so cool. If there's someone listening to your voice right now who is in a dark place, they are struggling, what would you tell that one person right now?
You're not alone. And you don't have to be alone. But it takes action. And it's the last thing you want to do when you're in that place. Yeah. But there is assistance, and there are resources, and to reach out. And that's why we really are in this coaching business. Yeah. It is so scary to be that alone and in that dark place, and that can just spiral. Just know that there's a hand reached out to you. And if you choose to grab it, oh gosh, the light's right there. Yeah. And you can have someone go through it with you and sit and cry with you if necessary, and be that support, that you're not alone.
Yeah.
By any means.
Well, I love that. Because I know a lot of people do tune into this who are in that space. And I love what you said. And I would imagine you, like you said, people can reach out to you because they know you have their back.
100%. And I've been there.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that it makes such a difference when you try to explain to someone when you're in a dark place, that you don't have to explain every detail. You just know that they understand because they actually have been there.
Yeah.
And I've been there multiple times. And I've tried so many different things to get out of it. And I found what has worked for me and so many of our clients and friends and family. And just knowing that you're not alone.
Right.
Is just the first step. You're not the only one facing these kind of things, and that you will be okay. Just take the action to do something about it. And there are people there for you.
Yeah. If people want to learn more about MeCoaches and, contact you and learn more about all that you're doing, what's the best way for them to do that?
Go online.
Okay.
MeCoaches.com.
Okay.
So it's MECOACHES.com. And there is a way to reach out to us on there. There's an intake form kind of thing, or even just a free consultation call that we would have.
Okay.
See if we're a good match. And there's resources on there as well, free resources that we give out, just knowing that people, if they're not ready for coaching, they're ready just for something.
Yeah. Something to get the ball rolling in the right direction, right?
Exactly. And we'll be launching our podcast soon, which we can't wait to have you on as well.
That's exciting.
So that's really super exciting.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And just adding value and reaching out to the community and sharing what we know. And
well, yeah, you have so much experience of helping people and just watching people triumph over. I mean, you have such an amazing platform for this podcast. I think it's going to be amazing because, again, it'll be another tool, another resource for someone to come and get some help.
Totally. And
get some inspiration for, like you said, if they weren't ready for maybe direct coaching yet, but that podcast can be there for them when they need it.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm glad you're doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Is it just you doing it, or is it you and Arno going to do it together?
Yep.
Okay.
It's us
well,
together.
That'll be fun.
Yep. It'll be really fun. We have an incredible synergy when we play off of each other, and it's just so organic and having guest speakers and stuff like that. So it's going to be quite beautiful.
Well, you're both so well spoken, and you both carry yourself so well. And I feel so blessed that I know him, and now I know you. And I just love what you guys are doing. You're bringing more light into this world that is so needed. So many people are hurting, unfortunately. And it's nice to have people who have gone through it themselves.
Right.
And you're now giving back and trying to make a difference for other people. And I really think that's why we're here.
Totally.
We go through something hard, and let's learn the lesson. And now let's give back and help someone who's going through it as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for being on my show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I mean, that went so fast. I can't believe it. We've almost been here an hour.
I love it.
But thank you for taking some time and sharing your insights. I love all the good things you're doing, like I said, and look forward to when your book comes out. That'll be awesome as well.
Thank you.
And I'll put the links to all your stuff in the show notes, so when it goes live, everyone can just click on it and get there. And I'll just make sure that we get the right people to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
You bet. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. McCall Bryant. Please reach out to her. Check out MeCoaches.com. You can click on the link there and just go look at all the good they're doing there. You'll love it. You'll notice right away that McCall really is a person who practices what she preaches, and she's out there doing well, doing good, and she does it with passion, which is so fun. But thank you again for tuning in. If you have a loved one who's struggling, please send them a link to this episode, because it'll kind of break the ice for you, and then you can follow back up with them. So please do that. And then one last thank you to my sponsors. I really appreciate the belief you have in me and this cause that we're doing. So thank you. And McCall, one last thank you to you. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to connecting with you more.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, take care, everyone.